Hey everyone, well it's good to be able to chat after a good weekend like we had. So yeah, we obviously blown away with what happened, and to win every race as a team and to get pole positions and the DVS as well, to have the clean sweep was near impossible. So really cool to be part of that, and the team is obviously feeling like it's on a massive high at the moment. So yeah, awesome weekend, but hopefully it continues, championship lead and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, at the moment things are looking pretty good. What do we got this year? Oh, this is your year, I hope it is. Your superstitions about Winton Raceway were right. Yeah, every year I've stayed, or the last 3 years now, I've stayed in a certain room at the same hotel, and the last 3 years we've won a race at Winton. So not really superstitious at all, but that's definitely working. So yeah, it's bizarre, but yeah, when I walk in, the guy says we'll give you the same room, and he knows that it's working for me. So good to be winning again. So next year, obviously, I'll be asking for the same room and trying to get the same thing. How do you rate your chances for Phillip Island and Ipswich? We should go good. Phillip Island will go good. I think the car is pretty nice, but Ipswich is unknown. I think there's a lot of good teams there. They'll all test before the Ipswich race. So yeah, not really sure. I think definitely Phillip Island we should be good, and Ipswich could be hit and miss. You know, when you go through the calendar as well, Townsville could be hit and miss. You know, there's quite a few, but if we get it right, even Willowbank, I thought, Winton, I thought was going to be tough. It was actually good for us. So you never know. You think you go good, and sometimes you do, and you think you go bad. And, you know, whatever. It can always be tough to know where you're going to go. But we thought Winton would be tough, and it was actually quite good. What's the best track suited to you guys that are still to come, and which ones are you least looking forward to? Same sort of answers, I guess, but the Bathurst should be good. I think Bathurst will be really good for us. Where else we got? Phillip Island should be good. Homebush going to be tough. Townsville could be tough. You know, Gold Coast as well. So there's tracks that we're not really sure about, but only saying that because Adelaide was tough. But we also feel like we've come a long way since Adelaide. So we'll find out when we get there. But yeah, we'll see. But definitely Bathurst should be good for us, I think, this year, and we're pretty excited about the year ahead. Do you feel more confident about the FGX and the FG? What's the biggest change? We feel more confident because it's more consistent, so the car is making sense, and that's where I guess the FG we struggled a little bit, but the FGX is making sense, and we're also doing a pretty good job because the guys are trying different setups and all that sort of stuff as well. So each round you go to, we get better. So the team's getting better. The FGX is obviously working, but the team is always pushing forward. So I think they're doing a great job, and we're starting to get results, which is good to see. For the first year, we're probably, I know we are equal with parity. So it means our guys have probably done a good job in the past, but now we've got equal parity. It makes a big difference. What do you think of the new Ford Mustang, and do you think you will race one in V8 Supercars? Think Ford dealers and Ford will support their products? I love the Mustang. I think it's a very iconic car, and it looks pretty cool. So I'd love to race one, but whether Ford and the Ford dealers support it, I'm not really sure. But the team are working through all that side of it, and they'll decide on what happens. But the Ford supporters are so good at Winton. You drive down that back straight and there's flags. You drive down the front straight, there's flags. There's so much Ford support. So we love it, and our team are very passionate and all that sort of stuff. So who knows what the future will bring, but but we know there's lots of Ford supporters, and we really appreciate it. So who knows? Time will tell, I guess. But hopefully, hopefully something gets some decisions get made, and we can go forward. Great job, Frosty and Perre. Is there more pressure on you now Chaz is performing than when Will was performing, or is a team high just as good as a Frosty high? Yeah, it's funny. Chaz and I get along really well, so we work well together, and he, he's going really good in qualifying. He's doing a really good job, and his pace. He likes the car a little bit better than I do at the moment, but his pace is really good. So, him and I get along well. So it's when he wins, I was happy for him because at Perth he followed me around, at the Grand Prix followed me around, and then at Winton he got his first win. So it was good for him, and obviously Sunday was a bit of a disaster for him, but at the same time, he was leading the race. He wasn't just puttering around trying to make points. He was pushing hard at the front, and he made a mistake, but he'll bounce back, and we work well together. So that's probably what's pushing us forward. We're not racing each other. We're trying to finish first and second, and that's that's a massive plus for the team. And we're not taking points off each other. We're trying to help each other. So it's good, really good environment, and it's helping the team definitely move forward. And then Dave is third as well. He qualified third, and he's working well with everyone as well, and he's doing a good job. So all three of us are pushing, and Andre is just a little bit off. So when he gets it right, it'll be 4 guys working together, which should be really good. Was Chaz's setup so much better than yours to swap, or is it he's coming from a different approach than your old data? What is number 5 doing to catch up to his speed? We were trying to go a certain way with setup. So on Friday we were testing things, just different setups, but it didn't work. I was struggling Friday, and Chaz was quick, so I bolted probably 70% of his setup in, and it got better. And then we went to 80%, and we got better again. And then we went to 100%. It got really good. But then Sunday we changed a little bit, and he also changed a little bit. So Saturday the car was fantastic. That second race was the best the car was, and then on Sunday we struggled a little bit, but when we put the softs on, it was quite good again. So we're trying to use each other's setups really, but definitely Winton, he had the better car, and you're silly not to copy it because when someone's quicker, you get his data, you get his setups, and you can try and do it your way, but you're silly. You don't have time, so you may as well just put the one that's working and try and go with it. But then you've got to change your styles and change the way you drive the car, and that's actually pretty tough to do. So you put it in, and then you try and adapt really quickly, and that's probably where I struggled a bit in qualifying. But his setup worked really well. They're doing a really good job. Him and his engineer are really making the car go quick, and it's good to see and good to learn off. After winning a race, do you treat yourself to anything special? So not really. We always have a day off the day after a race, so you go have lunch and you sort of pig out a little bit on some good food. But no, not really. It's just come home, and today we spent the day with the family, and Olive and I went to the shops and hung out for a bit. So nothing too outrageous, but normally have a few desserts or something because normally you've earned it the day before. So normally treat yourself to a bit of a naughty snack. That's what happened today again. The FGX Falcon is said to be more responsive to setup changes than the previous FG. My dad, Ian, and I were wondering what you think the main reason for this is. The revised aero package. Yes, definitely. Probably, the aero package is helping, but it's also our guys are understanding the cars too. They're working really hard, and they're doing a really good job. But the car is, the aero package is equal. I guess before we didn't make much noise about it. We didn't complain too much, but when they all do a test and your car comes up quite deficient, it sort of proved that we were aero deficient. And then they do a test and they all come out equal now, and our cars are quick. So it's definitely helped, but also the guys working are doing a good job as well. And yeah, it all helps. You know, every little bit you can get helps. We're not necessarily going quicker, but we're going more consistent, and that's been the biggest change. I work a lot with schools and the ever-increasing problems surrounding cyberbullying. So I'm curious to know how you deal with the nasty comments about you that pop up on social media. Is it just like water off a duck's back, or does it sometimes get under your skin? Yeah, it's a little bit, you know, when you read some things, and you know, I've been in the sport a while now, so 5 years ago social media didn't exist, and now it does. But yeah, sometimes you read some things and it's pretty pathetic what some people write, to be honest, but they never say it to your face, because it's probably what people do when they're cyberbullying. But sometimes it does. You know, we put in our best and try our best, and sometimes you cop something from whoever on the Facebook page or something. But you know, you read it and you don't get too into it, because when you meet the people, it sort of work out pretty quick that they're not anyone that you've really been too worried about. So I've had someone actually once that, you know, you can see their picture, and when you go to a track, you see their picture and work out who it is, and they don't say it in person, so it doesn't really matter. But it's just stupid sometimes writing something on a page, because once it's there, you never get rid of it, and that's people have got in trouble from doing that. So yeah, once it's on there, it never disappears. So that's probably something to people who are, you know, who think of doing it. Just think about it, and you know, wait a couple of minutes before you write something, because you can never take it back. When you buy a new car, you have to run the motor in. How do you guys drop a new motor in and just go racing without doing that? That's a good question. The race cars get dynoed, so the car gets run on a dyno and stuff like that. But yeah, we put it in the car and pretty well drive it to pit lane, and are hitting 7,500 RPM on the outlap. So yeah, it doesn't really get running too much, but yeah, the dyno is the only time it will ever get running. If it's in my car, it's flat out. There's no warm up or running procedure. It's just flat out. So we don't get that problem. But in road cars, definitely, you give it a bit of a run in the boat we give it a run in. But race car, she's all flat out. My question would be about your overall thoughts on getting the championship points lead, and how do you plan to keep it till the Homebush Sydney 500? Yeah, it's good to get the lead, but we're in this position last year and threw it away. So you know, we want to just keep on top of things, make sure that our bad days are not outside the top 5, and our good days are race wins, and that's sort of what we're focusing on. And you know, when you look at Perth finishing 15th, that was silly. Not silly because we got it wrong, but just silly because we probably could have been quite conservative and got more points. But you just got to be smart, you know, and that's what we're trying to do. And that's what at Winton we still thought that starting on the softs was the best strategy, and people showed that. But when we're on the front row, you have to back yourself, because you're on the front row because you've beaten the other people. Hey Renee, you've beaten the other people that are behind you. So if they're on a strategy, you just race them because you're quicker and you beat them. Don't try and do anything really out of the box, and that's what we did at Perth. But it was still the right strategy. But we don't need to do that. We just need to race people. And I think going into Sydney, if we can keep this same philosophy up, qualify up the front, and just race people, then that will give us a good shot at winning this championship. What is the feeling on tyre life at the moment? Craig was impressive at Winton doing extra on his softs, and was there anything discovered about why your softs went off so badly in WA? Tyre life is good when the car's set up properly. At Perth, the car was not set up right. It was good for hards, but for softs, it just wasn't set up properly. So we've learnt that. You know, it's sometimes funny you hear on the broadcast that one driver drives smooth and saves and the other doesn't, but I drove the same way at Winton, you know. So it's definitely in the setup, and with our pressure sensors and stuff now, we can see what temperature the tyre is running at, and that's a big indication of tyre wear. So yeah, the tyres are hanging in there, but you know what Craig did, running them for 10 laps and then running them again. There's strengths to that as well, because you get to take the tyre off and play with the pressures a bit, but then you also have 10 laps older degradation. So he did well, but we think we could have done that same strategy and made it work. But again, we didn't need to, because we won the race racing people the same way, and we think if we had have run his strategy, we could have won by a lot more. But it's a risk, so we don't need to take those risks, and it still paid off. But yeah, he did do a good job. He got it home, but we think we could have done the same. Ollie would like to know if you have read the Nelson Mandela book in your bookshelf. No, I haven't read the Nelson Mandela book, but I was given that by someone, and I probably should read it. But what other books have I got? I've got an Adam Gilchrist book, which is, he signed it when he gave it to me at Bathurst, which was cool. But there's a Costa Zoo book. They're the two I've read, the Gilchrist book and the Costa Zoo book. But the Nelson Mandela book is still in the same position, and it probably will be in every other chat we do, because I've never read it. What would you do if you couldn't afford Foxtel to watch your most favourite sport with your favourite driver and your favourite make of race car, which is a Ford with driver Mark Winton? Yeah, I don't know, get on and watch the live chat. You know, I can only do what I do. I've said it every time we're on here, and I know it's an issue and stuff like that. You know, I definitely know, and I hear what everyone says, but you know, I just wish there was a way that people could watch it and get a taste of it, because Foxtel are really doing a good job, and you know, effectively they're a sponsor and keeping cars on the grid. You know, they're doing a really good job, but I know it doesn't help everyone, because I know everyone can't afford it. And Channel 10 have their highlights package, and there's a lot of adverts on that highlights package. So yeah, I don't really know the solution, but you know, I can only do what I do. I always say it, but I try and update. I try and do what I can, and that's all I can do. But you know, any issues, I think, you know, you take it to V8 Supercars and have a chat to them. You know, they run the sport and make the decisions, so probably best chatting to them. But I do understand both sides, so it's a tough one. Very awesome weekend for ProDrive. Well done. What are your thoughts on the Saturday race at 60-60? I don't mind them, but it's funny, you know, our sport every year they come up with a new format, and every year everyone hates it. And we've had reverse grid, we've had 120k races, we've had 20 lap sprints, we've had 120 pit stops, no pit stops, 200s, 250s, we've had everything, and every time someone complains about it. So and that's not the fans, I'm saying the teams, drivers, because they'll always pick whatever suits them. So yeah, we know at the start of the year it was 60-60, and you know, we know that was the format, and you know, some people are happy, some people aren't. So they can't change it. It's too late now to change formats, I think. But yeah, the hardest part's probably the tyre situation, where you know, you see guys saving tyres, and that's the thing I hate about the Saturday 60-60 race. Should the races be more points? Maybe every race should be worth 150 points, because they're saving tyres for Sunday, which is double points. If it was 150 points for every win in every race, then people wouldn't save tyres, because you're trying to win every race because the points are equal. But having effectively double point Sunday means Saturday one race you can sacrifice, because you know, for win you get 75 points, for 15th you get about 30 points. So you're only dropping 45, and then on Sunday that's about 5 positions, which tyres are probably going to give you. So that's the thing I don't like about Saturday. But fix that, whether it's another set of tyres or they change the point system. That's that's what's going to change it. So that's the negative I've got, probably about the 60-60. Congrats on a terrific win this weekend. Were you worried that the tyres were going to let you down near the end of the race on Sunday? It's tough when, I guess, last year I had so much confidence in looking after tyres because I did it so many times. So I was always confident. Then you go to Perth where you just have no tyre life. So it's really starting to doubt the tyre life on the car. And with 12 laps to go, it started to get a little bit greasy, and I thought we were in a bit of trouble. But then I conserved for a few laps and the tyre come back, which is quite strange. But I was pretty happy to see that, to be honest. So now I feel confident that we've got tyre life again, and that's really, really good, because after Perth definitely did feel a little unsure on why we were so bad. But definitely got the confidence back now, and Darwin's going to be good for that. Townsville's going to be good, and the big, the soft tyre races, you need to be confident with your tyre life. So I'm glad we've got it back. Do you guys get a say in working out the calendar for race weekends? We're in for another 5-week break before the next round. Would you rather be racing every couple of weeks? We don't get a say, but sometimes the rounds or the states they sort of can say when the rounds are on. So when you've got Gold Coast, which has got Queensland government backing, you've got Sydney that's New South Wales backing, you've got Victoria, all those sort of things. It's quite tough to just say we're going to put a race on this weekend. But for me, I think we need to race more consistent. So every 2 or 3 weeks, start in March, finish in October. Shorten the season, but it needs to have consistency, because now we finish Winton. The sport's got momentum. We've had 2 rounds in a row, and then we go 5 weeks, and we have to build momentum again at Darwin. So we need consistency. We need people going to work talking about how good that race was. We need people going to work talking about how good the race coming up is, not when was the last race, who won it, or when's the next race. And there's no consistency. So definitely I think the calendar could flow a little bit nicer, but that's from a driver's point of view. Where a team member, I know my number 1 mechanic's got a week off, so he'd be absolutely loving the break. So drivers would love more consistency, more races. I think the sport would be better for it. But at the same time, I know the team and everything, they work their backsides off and they need a break. And my number 1 definitely deserves it. And this week he's having it off. So there's 2 sides always to every story. Were there any mechanical parts upgraded with the FGX, or was it mostly the body and aero? There's a few upgrades. There's always things going in the car, or things going on the car, or setup changes or whatever. So I think we've done a good job with the setup, and they've done a good job with the bodywork. So a race car never stays the same. It's always changing. So definitely no more than this year. We've made changes. So, and that's engineers. It's different philosophies and stuff like that. So it's always changing. From Clipsal till now, why is the car so fast? Is it small things like spring here, or a major thing? It's just little things like spring and stuff like that. It's been really small changes, and just understanding the car, because Adelaide was a tough weekend for me. I struggled with car speed a bit, but I still finished 5th. It was still a pretty good round. And then Tassie was a little bit better, Perth was a little bit better, and Winton's been a bit better again. So just learning the car and understanding it. We went too far, and at Winton on Friday we were at our limit, and it wasn't nice. And then we went back a couple of steps, and the car was good again. So you're always trying to make it better. So we're just understanding it. What does it feel like being famous? Definitely not too famous, but it means you're winning races, which is nice if people like you, and it means you're a good person. So it's nice. bizarre sometimes being at a track and people come up and get your autograph because, you know, I was that same kid back in the day trying to get Peter Brock's autograph and Dick Johnson and all those guys. So it's kind of surreal sometimes, but yeah, deep down you're just lucky to do the sport you love and people love watching you and follow you. So it's a pretty cool feeling, but yeah, sometimes you've got to pinch yourself because it's kind of bizarre. Who is your greatest rival in V8s? Oh, everyone's a rival, but you know, probably Wincup's obviously the one that we've raced for years, and it goes back to go-kart days where unfortunately no one watches the go-kart days, but I did to him what he's done to us in V8s back in the day and gave him a flogging, so it was nice, but he's unfortunately done it in the V8s where everyone's watched. So you know, he's definitely probably had the rivalry, but at the same time there's respect because when you race someone for so long, you see how they come through, and yeah, it's good to obviously see people make it that you have raced back in the day. But yeah, he's doing a good job, and he's definitely had the wood over me in the V8s. But hopefully this year we can get some redemption, and I can start late and get all these championships back and try and equal with him. What do we got? Awesome to see Ford at the top. I'm actually driving Winton this weekend for a track day. Any advice for a quick lap? Winton's a tough track to get right, but it's all about flow at Winton. You get in reasonable, but you want to get out, and getting out is the main thing for me. So you got to brake well and stop it, and yeah, you got to make sure the car stops. That's probably the big thing. Slow it down, turn, and then get on the throttle early, and that's how we generate speed. But every category is different, and every car is different. But just have fun. It's in good nick, the track. It was actually reasonable on the weekend. So yeah, I'm sure you'll be pretty happy with what lap times you do, because it was yeah, it was in pretty reasonable nick. Final one we've got. Congratulations on the weekend. How significant is it that since the Grand Prix you have been to tracks that are so different and still been so strong at each one? At this early stage of the season, it's extremely important and give you and the team confidence to move forward. Yeah, it's been good. It's been really good. You know, I can't believe how well we went to Winton, because when you go to you know, when you go to the Grand Prix and you have a weekend like we did, it was really good. And people kept saying, "Oh, wait till they get to a championship round. They can't prove it. They can't do this. Wah wah wah." And then we went to Perth and did it, and then we've gone to Winton and really backed it up. So yeah, it's been really, really good, and that's given us confidence. We knew the Grand Prix was a good round for us, and whatever people said, saving tyres, trying this, trying that, we knew we had a good car. So yeah, it's really, really looking good, and flexibility between tracks is what we struggled with last year. So yeah, fingers crossed we can keep this form up, and we can really keep it going. So anyway, we're going to finish up, but we're going to give away some stuff. I always like to give away stuff. So one of my sponsors is a great sunglass sponsor. So I'm going to just put out a really easy one and say the first two people who get it right, post on my page on the link, which is the latest link. And if you answer the question, who is my sunglass sponsor, then you can win a pair of these beautiful bad boys. One of these and one of them. So first to answer, we'll give you a hint. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, we'll give you a tip. First to answer, first two correct answers, we'll give them away. But yeah, thanks again for the support and stuff. I'm glad we're getting results, because you know, obviously you want to win races, but it's nice to give results, and you know, I reckon we've got the best support, as I always say it, and we deserve to give everyone a championship. So we're trying really hard this year to do it, and you know, everyone that writes the messages and support on the Facebook page. I read everyone and really appreciate it. And anyone who writes a bad one, I just delete you, so don't worry about it. So yeah, thanks for the support, and let's try and keep winning. So thanks, guys.